Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Azenco podcast. So today we have Kerrie Kelly with us. Kerrie, good morning, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So Kerrie, your career spans from interior design to product design, authorship. I mean, you're part of the leader in the industry.
Oh, thank
you. We are in the outdoor living space today at IBS. So how did outdoor living become such an important extension of what you do in the industry?
I'm a California girl through and through first. So I think it's been wonderful to watch the evolution of outdoor design being celebrated. And with so many manufacturers creating these beautiful products and the innovation continuing, especially with a product line like yours, it's allowed us to look at the home holistically, both inside and out. And we always talk about blurring the lines between indoors and outdoors, of course. But to have the materials truly function outdoors just as they can indoors is really something that's been quite an evolution and allows us to gather in a way that is so unique and healthy. There's a sense of well-being when we start talking about the outdoor space.
Sure. And you just mentioned that a little bit. So how do you see now the transition between indoor and outdoor, right? Because before, outdoor was a little bit, left over.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was focused on the indoor. How do you see that transition going? How do you see that the people are really connecting both, indoor and outdoor together?
Yeah, if there was ever a silver lining for COVID, I think this is it. I think there was a lot of data going around understanding that we were spending 90% of our time indoors. And we still wanted to connect. We still wanted to be with our neighbors, our friends, our family.
Sure.
And during that time, there really wasn't an alternative that we needed to go outdoors.
Yeah,
Just like we had to embrace that.
Yeah.
And so people began to see their spaces in a different way, and manufacturers began to offer products where the palette of the interior, suddenly we could talk about the palette of the exterior, it all being cohesive.
Okay.
It wasn't that we had beige cushions outside. We could do blue and white stripe or whatever that palette may be. Like I said, thinking of it holistically. And your product allows us not only to think of those side walls, the 1, 2, 3, 4, but our fifth wall above. So creating moments with people and really celebrating the way we gather. One moment we're being protected by shade. And the next moment, as our parties evolve into night, we're stargazing. So you've allowed that for people.
Okay. Well, I'm happy we did.
Yes.
I'm happy we're part of it for sure.
Yes.
And when we talk about those, connection between indoor and outdoor, would you say that the indoor has more impact on, let's say, the color selections, the material selection for the outdoor? Or would you say that also the outdoor, influence what's happening indoor?
I do think it goes both ways. I think there was a time where, especially in colder climates, you would look out the window and it'd be like, there's the outdoor. And now we're framing it differently in that it's a sense of expanded square footage. We have an opportunity. And if I could use an example, we have a beautiful herringbone driveway. It's 100 feet long. Okay. We just took down our garage and we turned it into a 400 square foot ADU, so accessory dwelling unit. We love it. But all of a sudden we started looking at this long side driveway and said, we have one car. Are we going to dedicate this beautiful floor grounding element to our car?
Yes.
Or should we have a side yard where we begin outdoor living? So we started to reframe that. It's now a courtyard. We have a door, we have a fountain, we have an outdoor kitchen. We do have a pergola that we're allowed to open up the louvers and stargaze, like I said. And it just created multiple moments in how a day or evening could evolve, whether that's 2 people or 200 people.
Yes.
That we could be in this outdoor space and use a pizza oven where everyone makes their own recipe and has their own food and shares with each other. I think the art of connection and the art of gathering, there's no place like outdoor living for those moments.
No, I mean, I can only agree with what you say for sure. But I really see that, before outdoor living area were just certain moment we were spending or we're just trying to make things nice.
Yep.
Now people, they want to experience, they want to live really outdoor and they want to have a setup where it's like another room of the house.
Absolutely.
It's not just, okay, we just make things nice, a little bit of landscaping. Now the people, they want to stay outside. They, as you said, they want to experience it. So
Absolutely.
sure. And as an expert, right? As an interior designer and expert in the industry, when you select product, when you select what are you looking for from a manufacturer? What are you looking at to see? Okay, that's the good manufacturer. That's the good, partner I want to work with.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my phone case right now says surround yourself with people who get it.
Yes.
And I will say, my first phone call with you, I knew you got it.
Okay.
And that takes being in the industry, having conversations like this. And a unique thing that you do is you tap into the designer conversation to ask for feedback. And your product shows that as we sit here today and I see the mixed materials and the offerings that you have and the lighting and the thoughtfulness that is in it. That's what makes it. And so a partner where we can have the conversations, you're not telling me what I want. You're asking me, how do you see using this? And let me show you how our product can solve your problem or your challenge or create a solution for this project. And so it does become an extension of the home. It does become a place you want to be and another area that maybe you didn't think of previously. So
no, yeah, no, sure. I think, our both, you're on one side, of the industry, I'm on the other side, but it's a partnership, right? I mean, everything we do here at Azenco are depending on the feedback that we receive, from people like you, from our dealers. We just don't think, oh, well, we should do a privacy wall. We think, we try to understand what the customers are trying to experience, the feedback, as an expert, what feedback, what are your customer wants to experience, what they want to have, so that's how we usually create our product.
Yeah, I feel like you create the solution and then within the conversation, we say, did you think about this? And you say, wow, we could do this. And it just gets better and better and better. And that's how we all grow. And that's how we have product offerings for the entire design community that we can all tap into and just have better projects overall.
Sure, no, of course. So giving you a little bit, like sharing a little bit your expertise. There's interior designers that wants to be interior designer every day. What advice you would like to give them to start in that industry?
I went to school for interior design at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, and I have a master's in business. So, kind of both sides of the brain are going in that way. And I used to only hire people who went to design school. And I think after 30 years of doing this, I really appreciate those other points of view, bringing in other eyes into situations, other experiences. So yes, go to design school, get that foundation. After I graduated, I went to Ralph Lauren, which was an education in its own, working for Ralph Lauren Home Collection. I mean, I was there for 5 years. And then I worked for a production home builder, Del Webb and Pulte, for 7 years after that.
Okay, nice.
But always had my own side business going on where I could help clients and tap into that. So I think if you are open to things along the way and maybe not having it be so cookie cutter and one track mind of being a designer and doing residential or commercial, but being open to the whole palette of it, I think that's where the richest experience comes to life. Right now, I don't do residential design with specific clients. I have let that go and really appreciate working with brands and helping them tell their story and have their products reach the design community. So who knew that was a thing? Who knew designing canvas booths was a thing? And it's only when you have that experience, say yes to things and are open to things that that's what you get to do.
No, sure. Opportunity comes, and in all industry evolve, right?
Yeah.
So depending on, what needs or what the people are looking for and opportunities, like you just said, maybe when you started, you didn't think you will do that right now. So,
well, who knew Broad Hall would be how we meet in North Carolina of all places? But
I know. Well, believe it or not, I want to be a lawyer. So,
there you go.
See, it's totally different.
Yeah, well, getting all of our designs approved, we might have needed a lawyer in High Point, North Carolina, but we were on a tight time schedule. We had a budget. We had beautiful products to install, and we were able to accomplish it and brought a whole new freshness to High Point Market and what is offered there. And we look forward to the relationship continuing.
No, yes. It's pretty impressive what has been done and also in the timeline because, and be able to coordinate all those manufacturers and I mean, you did something great. I mean, congratulations.
Only with people like you.
Going back a little bit on materials and everything, there's a lot. We talk a lot about sustainability, so how do you feel? Do you feel it's something very important right now? What is your feedback a little bit on that?
I do feel it's very important, and talk about something evolving over the years, and talk about something starting out as beige. I mean, it was, here's your hemp material. But no, it has evolved again with the innovation of those trailblazing manufacturers, whether it's the furniture industry or a Cosentino or, any of those people. What I really have always leaned into on the sustainability conversation is designing once, designing well, and picking quality product so that we aren't tearing this out 10 years from now. It's something that can be maintained, that's durable, it's quality. Let's buy it once, do it correctly. And I think as I look through the booth today and see these spaces that anchor the outdoor area, that's exactly what you have. We can live with this for a long period of time. And that's where the sustainability comes in, along with the pairing of beautiful materials.
No, sure. Especially in outdoor. I mean, all our products, but that's the case also for furnitures, any type of fabric material. You need to resist, rain, UV, salty environment, more or less dry, humid. I mean, so you're right. I think it's important to pick the right material at the beginning.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's bringing value to a home. It's bringing value to even restaurants or even when you talk on the hospitality side. But you don't want to have a product that you need to constantly maintain or something that you're going to need to replace in 3 years.
Yeah.
There are investments, and you want to make sure you make the right choice.
Correct.
Perfect. We discussed a little bit about material, about how the customers are, using the outdoor living space. But really, when you meet with them, what are their expectations? What they tell you, like that they want or they really don't want? Or there's something specific? It can be indoor or specifically outdoor. But is there anything specific that you see that they ask you all the time and that is consistent?
I find now that customers are so educated. It used to be that we'd bring a suite of products to a homeowner and give them direction. Now they're coming to us with a whole list of ideas with photos, which is great to help with the direction, but they're looking for validation. Okay. Is this going to be a solution for my home? Is this going to work? So our role of designer has changed a little bit.
Okay.
Which is great. But it is definitely a reframing because of the education, because of the AI, because of the targeted market.
Social media.
Everything that happens. And so, our role is a little bit different. And
you're like a real prescriptors. Like they come with some ideas and they're waiting to say, yes, this is the right move. Or you should do that. Or
yeah. And, often like you're asking what they ask for or what they don't. We're leaning on beautiful experiences that they have had in their life. So maybe a vacation, a hotel, a restaurant. Okay. How do we fold these beautiful memories into their own home so they can be experiencing them all the time? I think what luxury truly is having something at your fingertips before you even need it. And so with your product, pushing a button and having the lighting change or having the shades draw or having the louvers tilt, that is luxury to be able to push the button and create a whole different ambiance. The heaters, a warmth, the misters, whatever it may be, to address that particular moment in time.
Yes. I always say we're not selling product, we're selling solution experience.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what you say. As a trend expert, how do you see, so we talk a little bit on how, the industry and everything evolved as today, but how do you see the future? What do you think, where are we going, into designs? Do you see major changes? What are you anticipating?
I think there's a big conversation that continues with well-being for sure. No matter where we walk in the booth, there's that sustainability conversation still, of course. But well-being and what does that look like in the home? And being outdoors is a big part of that, al fresco moments, that's a big part of it all. So I do see that continuing on. I do see the kitchen, whether indoor or out, really being a significant place where people gather. And more of a casual kind of effortless feel to it.
Okay.
You don't need to be formal to invite people over.
Yeah.
You can wave someone on from across the street and have them pop
Sure.
on over and throw a steak on the grill and,
Yes.
have just as beautiful of a moment. And with these spaces, have the people be involved, like at the pizza oven moment where everyone makes their own and we all enjoy with each other. I think there's also the people, I don't have to be the host to have you over. You can help yourself to the ice cubes, the beverage center, the bottles that are in the ice, and everyone's a part of the process. And I think there's a comfort in that. And there's a graciousness that we're all craving in being with each other. It doesn't have to be so buttoned up.
No, sure. Yeah, less formal.
Yeah.
No, I agree. What do you think designers and manufacturers should do better? What we should do better together to push more outdoor? Is there anything that we should do that we're not doing now? And I'm not talking about Azenco specific.
Yeah, just in general.
Yes.
Going back to Broad Hall, something that was so magical for me to see in that particular space, it would be 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and we weren't even having an event, but everyone wanted to be together because of this outdoor space and this indoor space that was created. And that door just kept on, opening and closing with people wanting to be with each other. And it was the mixed conversation of manufacturers, designers, and the organization of the NKBA.
Yes.
And when that dialogue just continues on and there's a comfort with it, and we know as designers, we could say yes to anything because we have a relationship with our manufacturers and we have a relationship with the NKBA and with the people who are in the organization. I think it boosts confidence and it allows us to create better products because you can say, hey, KK, what do you think of this? I don't know about this color. Is this white too white? Should we be offering something a little softer?
Mm-hmm.
And you can have immediate feedback because you are connected to us. So I think if we keep that dialogue open, all boats will rise. We can all do this together. And I think the connection of the brand conversation too. We're all in different places as manufacturers.
Sure.
And so when I work with my brand partners, what I love is to see the collaboration. We don't build this space with just an awning or just a piece of furniture. It takes everything. It takes the countertops, the cabinetry, the lighting. There's so many layers to it.
Yes.
So when we can come together and collaborate with each other, that's when we're best.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe let's do that for next year, right?
Let's do it.
Let's do a boost together, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay. Perfect. Kerrie, thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate.
It's an honor.
Looking to see you again at High Point in April.
Yes.
I'm sure it's going to be a super exciting moment again. And looking to do a lot of more for the future and maybe collaborating on our booth next year for IBS.
I look forward to it. Thank you for your generosity and your hospitality. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Kerrie.